Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Calling to order the meeting of the board, ALCOSAN. Today is March 27, 2020. Let's start off with the roll call, please.
Darren Howard.
Here. Yep.
Teresa Cal Smith.
Here.
Paul Klein.
Here.
Emily Kincaid. Sylvia Wilson.
Here.
Harry Reedshaw.
Here.
Dr. Shanna Clark Killian.
All right, thank you. Let's all rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. It's your republic which stands on the God and slow and for all. Right, just to remind everyone, there was an executive session held prior to this meeting. There were no votes taken during that session. There is also no public comment this evening. So we're going to launch directly into the information items. First, we have the audit report. Yeah. Mr. Kent.
Hello, thank you. My name is Jeff Kent. I'm with Mar Dissel. Here to give a brief overview on the 2024 audit. We are complete with the audit. Last week we met with the audit committee and discussed the draft in detail, and we finalized the reports prior to this meeting. Happy to report we issued an unmodified or clean opinion on financial statements. The authority met its debt coverage ratio, and we noted no non-compliance with debt covenants or debt agreements over the trust administrator. We received good cooperation, so we certainly thank everybody involved in the audit for their assistance in getting us through the audit. We started the audit in the February timeframe, and like I said, we wrapped up just this week. In terms of just brief financial highlights, the authority ended 2024 in strong financial position, both in terms of the authority's financial statements and the financial statements of the pension trust funds. There were strong operating results on the authority side to support the continued investment in capital and debt service. And the pension trust funds as well had strong results based on 2024 investment. There was also significant capital investment during the year in accordance with the clean water. Happy to answer any questions you may have related to the 2024 audit.
Okay, seeing no questions, thank you very much. Next, we're going to hear from Director Kennedy on the 2025 capital budget status report. That is found in Exhibit A.
Thank you. So this is our capital draw through March, the end of March 2025. So we finished the first quarter at about $30 million spent, and 2/3 of that, as can be expected, is on the construction phase of the plant expansion. And about 8.5 million of it is with respect to the balance of the interim wet weather plan projects. So I think we're on track. Obviously it's early in the year, but if you have any questions, I'd be happy to take them.
Thank you. Okay. And seeing none, let's move on to the report of actions by the executive director and approval of construction change orders within the contingency included with board approval at the time of contract award as authorized by resolution number 2022-03-04. It can be found in Exhibit E.
This change is related to the environmental compliance facility. Brand new building for us. A nominal change to move an outlet. Then we're also in closeout punch list phase because the building is just about ours.
Are there any questions regarding that change order? Okay. I'm gonna move on to action items. First, can I get a motion and a second for approval of the minutes?
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, I need a motion, we're gonna be considering authorizing payment of invoices in excess of $23,800 processed during the period of February 19, 2025 to March 17, 2025, and review the summary report of the expenses in excess of $12,900 processed during the same period. These can be found in Exhibit C.
There, if you have questions about specific invoices.
Are there any questions?
Motion to approve. Second.
All in favor? Motion passes. Next, we have consideration of a motion to reject all bids for contract 1814 compressor check valve purchase.
Madam Chair, ran into some difficulties with this contract. We're asking to reject after conversation with the solicitor. As the board is familiar, what we do is make modifications to the scope. When we come back, ask you to reissue it with a letter. Hopefully, it's just letter A. Sometimes it could be letter B because we still have problems the first rebid. So you're going to see when you drop down to D that we are re-advertising.
Okay, thank you. It's pretty straightforward. Any questions?
Motion to reject.
Second. Okay, motion to reject carries. Next, we have a motion to authorize the preparation of specifications and advertisements for bids for the following contracts. These can be found in Exhibit B. We'll be doing these separately. Okay. First is contract number 1814A compressor check valve purchase, which we were just talking about.
Voila. Hey. I love it when a client comes together.
Can we get a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next contract is number 1824, solar power generation for O&M building.
We're there. It is as straightforward as the title indicates. It is an opportunity the board had directed us to pursue after much investigation. We're looking to advertise.
Sounds good. Any questions?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The motion to authorize the prep for those has passed. All right, next we have the motion to approve the following construction change orders that either exceed the authorized contingency amount or are in an individual instance greater than authorized for administrative approval by resolution number 2022-0304. These can be found in Exhibit E.
Madam Chair, in addition to what you will find in Exhibit E, which is a depiction of multiple changes in this change order, we're going to have Matt Gilman, our manager of instruction in some sense, give me a presentation. Matt?
Good afternoon, members of the board. Here we got change order number 5 for the CSO project. This includes 6 separate change order items for a total of $557,527.66. The first one was the cost to remove existing H pile, which was used on a past project for temporary shoring. So this is the cost that was incurred in phase 1 of the project. And we also have phase 2, 3, and 4 of this project that are very similar, and we're anticipating these costs. These will be tracked on a time and material basis. So the anticipated final cost, T&M, would be $11,000 for this. The second one was a cost of just over $64,000 to modify some walls in the CSO channel. This was one of the more difficult portions of this project where we had to support the existing pipe utility tunnel. The foundation of that tunnel was slightly different than what our record document showed. So we needed some modifications to the new channel walls and slab to work around those obstructions and keep the new channel watertight. The third item was the existing expansion joint in that tank. When excavated, there was a leak in there. So this is, since the tank is out of service, we need to fix the leak, and this tank will be in service for many years to come without being out of service. So that was almost $34,000. The next two items were credit. The first one was just a small value engineering one on an airline for a credit of over $9,000. The last one is with all these phases in the job, isolating flow. We initially called for some stainless steel stop logs and do some different site conditions and some value engineering. We decided to change those to steel bulkheads for a savings of just over $169,000 to the job. The largest change order item for this overall one is changes to the river wall, where we are constructing a new outfall for this project. So these costs total a little over $627,000. The picture up there on the right is some excavations along that wall. As the contractor started performing those a few weeks ago, some of those sheets have some rust and corrosion on it. The engineer was on site and we didn't have confidence that the original design would work with these existing conditions that were discovered. So with all those exploratory investigations, we did come up with a new solution here quickly to avoid downtime for the contractor and keep this job moving. A brief overview is this is the location of the river wall where this new outfall will be built, which is the structure in the red there. To perform that work, a 20-foot section of that river wall had to be cut out. And the initial design included adding 2 steel beam whalers to each side that were tied back to 2 concrete piles driven to rock on the land side of the river wall. But due to the condition of some of those rusting sheets, the engineer did not feel comfortable with this original design. So this is a plan view of the drawing of the changes. The yellow is the river wall up here. The blue is where that new structure is being built. These green piles on each side is where the temporary support was originally designed. And what we are doing is all these smaller red piles behind are being installed on each side. And we're basically building a new wall right behind to take all the construction loads, the soil loads, and allow us to safely build this new outfall while keeping the job moving. So now the river wall and the structure is 2 completely independent structures, and the contractor can proceed with that work.
Right, any questions? We have extensive conversation.
And I just want to say, for the record, we had extensive conversation.
We did an extensive conversation about this overall change in 2.2%. So, with no questions, can I get a motion?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion passes. F, motion to approve the following change orders that exceed $30,000 in value or whose cumulative total value with previously approved change orders is greater than 5% of the original contract amount. It's been found in Exhibit F. Ms. Williams.
Madam Chair, board may remember award this contract long ago, far away. May 2020, we said at that time, it's a huge contract. It's going to run for at least 5 years. Well, here we are. We are not completely finished. There's still significant work to perform, but this is taking us closer to conclusion. For the orphan facilities, which encompass a lot of projects under that umbrella. So this first one is for electrical. And it's a combination of things that we requested, things that were required, things that were found to be issues. You okay with me just going straight through? Okay. The second one, still north end, but this is the general, most significant piece of this change order is the repair. It was required with the original remember presentation that Douglas gave you, where he showed you the impacts of the hot water, the barges that had come along and torn up the wall, things that needed to be repaired. Number 3, move into East Head Works, which is a much newer project. And it's not just a combination of ads and credit that get us to, in the grand scheme of things, a nominal change. Number 4, and I'm sorry, that was for the general on the East Head Works. Number 4 is for the electrical on the East Head Works. Some changes that were required because of the city inspector. They came and pointed out some things in addition to nominal changes. A lot of change orders.
Okay, do I have to take those individually or?
Now we can combine them.
So can I have a motion to approve the change orders from exhibit F? All in favor? Motion passes. Next, we have the motion to modify the growth program grant agreement form that was recommended by the ALCOSAN Board of Directors Committee.
Chair, that sums it up right there. The Green Committee meeting was held where the members took receipt of a variety of information and moved forward items G, H, I, and J for consideration by the entire board. As you know, from time to time, we make modifications to the guidelines and to the agreement. This is a modification to the agreement that just brings clarity for our customer municipalities to be able to function within the program dictates. Sometimes we need to spell things out a little more specifically because what words are important.
Okay, so that is G. Can I get a motion, please?
Somebody,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have similarly, a motion to approve cycle 11 program guidelines. These are those that were recommended by the ALCOSAN Board of Directors Green Committee as well. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And then next, we have the motion to approve municipal source control projects, cycle 10, under the GROW program and provide successful applicants with a grant agreement.
Madam Chair, we have 15 projects identified in Exhibit G. Looking forward to moving these forward.
Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we have Exhibit H. These are motion to modify the grant agreements for green revitalization, the GROW program by extending the term of contract. You can see that in Exhibit H.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
we've got 14 to extend. Dates typically need to be moving again to support whatever our municipalities need in order to be able to utilize the funding in the program the best way possible.
Any questions? No? Second, all in favor? Motion carries. I just wanted to stop for a second right here because, you guys weren't privy, but we heard a really wonderful presentation about how much water has been removed from the system through the GROW program, and I'm it actually kind of touches my heart because, you know, I remember early, I know, touched by GROW Green Project, but we've just done so much good work, and I think about some specific spaces in our city, you know, like I think about Whiteman Park, where my kids, when they were little, when it would rain, like I'd be like, oh, we can't go to the park, it's flooded. And, you know, because of the work that we've been able to do now, of course, my son is 27 and 30. So we wouldn't really be doing that nowadays, but they could if they wanted to. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, okay, motion to authorize the executive director to execute the utility line relocation agreement with Verizon Communications Incorporated, providing for the deposit of $529,265 for the relocation and installation of utility lines to accommodate the construction impacts of the Ohio Road tunnel at AS1 site.
Madam Chair, again, words are important. Those were a lot of words, which come down to how we have become experts at not only property, but engaging with our sister utilities and what it takes to be able to move our tunneling program forward, because there are utilities everywhere. This item and the next item, L, provides that opportunity to be able to engage, get the necessary commitments in place, to be able to say, yeah, we're bringing a tunnel boring machine out to your area and we're going to disrupt some things. You tell us what you need. Help us, help you, help us. That's what these two do. Do you agree, Kennedy?
Thank you. All right, so the first is the utility line relocation with Verizon Communications. Can I get a motion?
Second.
And all in favor? The motion passes. And then the next is the motion to authorize payments to Duquesne Light Company as a contribution in aid of construction for the estimated total direct and indirect costs associated with the relocation of DLC facilities due to the Ohio River Tunnel construction. You just heard, right?
Motion.
Thank you.
All in favor? Motion passes. All right, next, we have a motion to adopt resolution number 2025 0301, authorizing payment for the purchase price in lieu of condemnation of permanent and temporary property interest in all or a portion of two parcels identified as Allegheny County Tax Parcel ID number 7-B-46 and 48, now or formerly owned by Celeste Rose Perrindo and David Anthony Perrindo.
Madam Chair, property, this item, N and N. Again, you have become experts in voting for every piece of property we need to acquire, whether it's an outright acquisition or just a temporary easement or a permanent easement. And simply goes subterranean as opposed to just above ground property, but both address the same issues, being able to move forward the clean water program.
Great. Any questions?
Motion approved.
Second. All in favor? Motion passes. Then the executive director was also alluding to The next, which is the motion to adopt resolution number 2025-3-2. This is authorizing the condemnation of purchase in lieu of or permanent subterranean property interest in a portion of 6 parcels identified as Allegheny County tax parcel numbers 44G 250 and 50 and 251, 44L 115, 125, and 150, and 21D 104, now or formerly owned by Duquesne Light. May I please have a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we have the motion to appoint FSL Public Finance LLC to act as the authority's financial advisor in accordance with the proposal dated February 27, 2025.
Madam Chair, the Finance Committee met to proceed of the recommendation and proposal and are suggesting that the board move forward with retaining FSL.
Any questions?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next, we have the motion to accept the Marduso audit report for the year ending December 31st, 2024.
Convenient, vote yes.
Can I get a motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, this brings us to new business. All right, so we're going to, the next meeting is April 24th, 5